Hello everybody and welcome back to the United Stand. Manchester United take on Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. Let's just say it's not been a happy hunting ground for Manchester United over recent years, but can Ruben Amorim and Manchester United change that this Sunday? It is an early kick-off. Manchester United are currently 11th place in the Premier League. Crystal Palace are currently 5th place in the Premier League. However, Crystal Palace have just played a game on Thursday evening. They have not had much time at all. 8 p.m. kick-off, Strasbourg, Thursday evening. Manchester United have had all week. Crystal Palace, at this moment in time, are a better team than Manchester United, but Manchester United have to capitalise on that. And it was near enough a full strength Crystal Palace 11 as well. I went and checked the lineup. There's no excuses. Manchester United's intensity has to be high. We have to be ready. And also, I want to see a bit of fire. I want to see a bit of passion. I want to see Manchester United players flying into tackles, giving it everything. There is no excuse for that Everton performance. Whether you blame Ruben Amorim, whether you blame the squad, the players, whatever, I don't know. I mean, I do have my own opinion, I do know. I blame a mix of everything. For me, there was no excuse for the lack of intensity of the Manchester United players. However, I think Amorim got it wrong from the beginning and then he didn't adjust throughout the game, even with the red card. But I've spoken about that all week. I think Amorim's tactical setup is weak. I think his system has been weak and I don't think we're consistently winning enough games. And you can tell that with our away form as well. Whether it's the system, whether it's the mentality, Manchester United have one win in 11 away games. That is just simply not good enough. So with Crystal Palace's Thursday fixture and a 12 p.m. kickoff, 12 p.m. kickoff on a Sunday morning, early doors, I know they're at home and Selhurst is a fantastic ground in the Premier League, one of my favourite grounds to be honest. The atmosphere is incredible, their fans are incredible, but Manchester United have the best away fans in the country. We've got to bring it. We've got to make up for the Everton game. There was no excuses from the players or the manager. We've got to make up for the fact that our away form is poor. We've got to put right that draw against Spurs where we should have gone and won the game. We've got to put right that draw against Forest. Yes, we had an unbeaten run going, but Man United, they could be 3 games without a win if they don't go and win this game. I don't have massive optimism that we will get the 3 points just because I know how good Palace are. I know how well Glasner has them set up. Their wing-backs are fantastic. Play similar sort of formation to Ruben Amorim, but Ruben Amorim made it clear in his press conference that they play in different styles. Glasner's a fantastic manager. He has won a trophy with Crystal Palace. He has been around the block. He was excellent at Frankfurt. He was excellent in Austria. He's just a fantastic manager. And Ruben Amorim is very, very early doors in his Manchester United career. He's learning on the job. He's made mistakes. It's going to be a really, really tough game. But Amorim is capable. He's had good games for Manchester United before. We have played against teams and looked like the more dominant side. But I don't think we've done it thoroughly throughout a game. Now, doing that at Crystal Palace, we're doing that against Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. It's going to be really difficult. I'm not expecting a full, dominant 90-minute performance. However, what I am hoping for is for Manchester United to go out there, give everything, for Ruben Amorim to adapt in the game, for Ruben Amorim to affect the game. I never see him affect the game. They're all the things I want to see. And I want to see the right starting 11. Now, I'm going to give my starting 11 in just a moment. Before I do that, one thing I want to point out is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He recently spoke out about Manchester United and the current setup. And he said when it works, it's great. But it tends to work primarily against teams that want the ball, have great possession. So if a team is dominant and has a lot of possession, Manchester United tend to do really well in them games. They tend to do well without the ball. They're happy to let the other team have the ball and we can counter-attack them, we can hit them in transition. When a team gives us the ball, United struggle to break them down. It looks like we don't know what to do. I mean, if you're playing a game where the main 2 people on the ball are Lenny Orr and Luke Shaw, I mean, Lenny Orr and Luke Shaw are decent players, but they shouldn't be the 2 players that are mainly on the ball for you, especially in the attacking third. We need to have more. So with Crystal Palace, they also like to give the opposition the ball. They are absolutely deadly in transitions. Munoz, Mitchell, Sarr, Mateta, all just fantastic in transitions, and we know how good Adam Wharton is at starting them as well and keeping the ball in the midfield when they do get it and setting that counter attack alight. So It's going to be an interesting matchup. Manchester United don't tend to do well against them teams that can absolutely kill you in transition, which is what Crystal Palace do, and they're at home as well. It's going to be a really, really, really tough game for Manchester United, and if Ruben Amorim can go there and get a win, I would be very, very impressed, and I would stand here, I would hold my hands up and say, you know what, you've proved me wrong there, because that's the type of team we don't tend to do very well against, and on paper at the moment in the Premier League they are a better performing team than us. So let's see what Ruben Amorim can do. First of all, he's got to pick the right starting 11. Sesko is still out, Harry Maguire's still out, Cunha unfortunately is still out as Manchester United are following concussion protocol. But what starting 11 do you go for? I mean, I'll read some stats out and then you can kind of gather what starting 11 you think Amorim will pick, what you would pick. And I've got some stats here to bring in. And so like I said, 1 win in the last 11 away games for United. We need to put that right. But the last 5 Premier League results for Manchester United against Palace was 2-0 to Palace, 0-0 draw. That was a boring game at Old Trafford, I remember that. 4-0 at Selhurst, which is when we got absolutely torn apart. I think there was some referee, or no, it wasn't referee footage, it was player footage, where, was it Elise just tore Casemiro a new one. Casemiro was going for a really bad spell of form there. We got beat 4-0. And then it was 1-0 to Palace. And then we did win in the 5th furthest away Premier League game from today. We did win 2-1. So it is a loss, draw, loss, win for Manchester United, going from most recent to least recent. So that's not great on paper. However, you can look at it and think we are due a win here, hopefully. When I was looking this up, it was like red. And I'm like, United need to do better. Palace are a good Premier League side, but we need to be doing better. If we want Champions League football, which after that Everton performance, I can't believe I'm still aiming there. However, if we had to have won that game, we would have been in and around Champions League. If we want Champions League football, these are the types of games where we've got to go there and bounce back. We cannot let that Everton game then become a bad streak. We cannot let that Forest draw, Spurs draw, Everton loss then turn into a bad run. We've got to bounce back. We've got to show what we're made of, and we've got to go to Selhurst and show, you know what, we actually are going to fight for Champions League football here, and we can do it. That was just a blip. So let's see. Average form is 1.5 points per game at the moment. Not good enough. Average away form, though, unfortunately, is 1 point per game. So we really do have to boost that away form. Ruben Amorim did say, though, the intensity in away games hasn't been good enough, but it's been good at home. But then in that Everton game, we didn't have enough intensity. So who knows, maybe it will translate to an away game. And we are scoring 1.58 games per game, 1.58 goals per game, but we're also conceding 1.58 games per game. So we are conceding as much as we're scoring. That's not sustainable, and that's why our points is levelling out at 1 to 1.5 per game, because, yeah, we can go and score a goal. However, we're going to concede just as many, and we just can't do that. And Palace can hurt you. You've got excellent players that can do so. Mateta, Sarr, I could go on and on and on. I really could. Kamada's been doing really well in there for them. They've got some really great players. Munoz is just the best wing-back in the league, one of the best wing-backs in the world right now. Genuinely, I'm not even joking. That position, I know it's quite specialised. I think he could play in different systems, but he's just absolutely killing it. So we've got to be on it. We've got to be wary of their threats. However, the team I would pick to try and go and beat this Palace team, because they are beatable, as good as they have been, they are a beatable side. This is the team I would go for with the current injuries. I'm going to be so honest, I'm really, really gutted Cunha is out, because for me, Cunha would be a big player in this game, and we do miss his fight, his appetite, his athleticism. We really do miss it in there. His ball carrying, his ability to just take the ball and be confident with it. We miss his fire, and he's great in the Everton game. So I'm gutted he's still out, but we've got to make do. We've got 1 game a week at the end of the day, and we can't complain about injuries. Every team has them. I would go with Lamens in goal. I'd be playing about 4, but I know Amorim's playing about 3. So I'd go Lamens in goal. I'd play a back 3 of Mazraoui or Yoro on the right. I don't think Yoro or Mazraoui are very good in the last game. However, Mazraoui, his best position is the right side, he's centre-back, and he was playing wing-back, which isn't his forte. Do you know what? I'd go with Mazraoui. I'd go Mazraoui on the right. I'd go with De Ligt central, and I would go with Shaw on the left. If Martinez is fit enough to play, wouldn't be surprised if he gets thrown in. However, when he's going to play, I suspect he'd get some minutes off the bench to ease him in. It's been so long. He'll go with Luke Shaw. I think he'll go with Luke Shaw. So it'll be Luke Shaw on the left, De Ligt central, and then Mazraoui on the right is what I'd go. that is a back three I'd pick. And then my two midfielders are going to be Casemiro and Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo cannot keep sitting on the bench watching a midfield two that isn't performing at the level we need it to. They've both got good attributes, but I said it on my show earlier. Bruno currently is one of the best players on paper in our team, but Ruben Amorim, his mismanagement of Bruno Fernandes is causing Bruno Fernandes's flaws to be outlined and his strengths to be muted. He's not being allowed to shine, and he's got so many strengths. He's got a few flaws as well, but he's accentuating them flaws and covering up his strengths. Lamens said himself that Bruno Fernandes is the best finisher in the team, yet against 10 man Everton, he's playing at centre-back half the game. It's just not okay. Centre defensive mid. It's just not okay. So I'm going with Kobbie Mainoo and Casemiro. Yes, you could argue the lack of physicality in there. However, it is what it is. Like, we've not got mass amounts of midfielders to choose from. Wharton and Lerma probably will do a number on whoever we have in there, but I'm giving Kobbie Mainoo, after that performance against Everton, I'm giving Kobbie Mainoo a chance to start in this game. My two wing-backs would be Ahmad on the right, no messing about. I know we're away from home, but we need width, and we need someone who can combine down that right-hand side and give us width and give us some threats going forward. They're going to play a very attacking wing-back. I want us to as well. I'm going with Ahmad on the right. I think that's his best position, out wide, being a threat going forward. Yeah, we've got to make sure we cover him going back, but Mazraoui's there for a reason. Let's go with them. And I would be putting Ahmad on that right-hand side. On the left, I think it's tough. I think he'll go with Dalot in this game. It's a toss-up between Dorgu and Dalot for me. It's a toss-up. None of them are really doing very well at the minute, but you've got to play someone there, haven't you? I'd probably edge towards Dorgu, but I think he'll go with Dalot. My two number 10s are going to be Mbeumo and Mason Mount. Mason Mount's got to play. I think he's one of our most intelligent players, and I don't know why I didn't start against Everton. So I'm going with Mbeumo, who's our best player at the moment, and the only one who could kind of come out with the Everton game thinking, you know what, I did my 100% best, I think. Him and Ahmad were probably our two better players. So I'm going with Ahmad and Mbeumo to link up on the right because that's been our best combination all season. Mount in there for his ability to get into the midfield and his footballing IQ. Then up front, I'm going with the false nine. We've not got Sesko, we've not got Cunha. I'm going with Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is better closer to goal. Put him in the false nine. I think you do a great job there. That's what I'm doing. Let me know. I think it'd catch their back three off guard a little bit. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Lastly, I'm going with a score prediction. I'm going with a very, very optimistic 2-2. Very optimistic 2-2. Let me know what you think. I hope I'm wrong and I'm sitting here and United win 3-1. Hopefully don't get another 3-0 to Palace from Goldbridge, if you know what I mean there. But that is what I'm going with. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Smash a like on the video. And all that's left to say is, come on, United.